Welcome to the Nostalgia Effect, the podcast where we examine movies from our childhood through the lens of adulthood. I'm Amy, and we got Johnny
Hey.
and Joe.
Johnny gets billing over me? What happened?
Whoop whoop. Moving on up.
I felt like it was unfair to give Johnny first, or give you first billing all the time. I had to give Johnny something.
Yeah.
At least once.
Yeah.
Johnny needs something in his life, it's true.
It's really sad.
But, you know, if you want to talk to us on Instagram or Twitter, you can follow us on either of those places at Nostalgitis. It's Nostalgitis. Or you can email us at nostalgiaeffectpod@gmail.com. Everything is going to be in the description if you want to find that. You can send us suggestions for any movies you want us to talk about later on. But today, we're going to be talking about The Emperor's New Groove, which Joe has not seen.
That's true.
But before we get into what Joe has not seen yet...
Oh, what have I not seen?
He hasn't seen a lot of things, right?
Yeah,
No,
well,
that's true.
before we get talking into
I've seen some things a lot of people haven't seen.
But before we get into talking about all of The Emperor's New Groove and Joe not having seen it yet, let's do some talking trailers.
All right.
Did anybody have any talking trailers to talk about?
I blew my wad last time.
I know, I
had two
things.
This is why, yeah.
I mean, I was going to do Toy Story 4, but we kind of talked about that a little bit last time.
But we haven't talked. Let's do Toy Story 4. Because
Okay.
that's actually good. Because that's sort of one of those things. I get the fact. I get teasers. I understand the point of the teaser.
Yeah.
Like the teaser, it makes sense. You gin up excitement.
Yeah.
And you whet the appetite, as it were, for the full thing. It's fine. But I dislike teasers that actually tease more than like they just it's like a tickle. I feel
You're
like
talking
that's,
about like doesn't show enough. You will You'd rather have, if you're gonna announce something, you'd rather have something of substance rather than
announce
just
it.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like. So the teaser for this, firstly, it felt long, you know, because like there's this long
30
shot.
seconds, though.
I know,
But I mean, it's slow, right?
Yeah.
It's very slow. And it's like, we're
faces
seeing
of
all of these characters we've seen before, moving slowly for a while.
I mean, it's 30 seconds, but like it feels long.
Yeah.
I felt every second.
Just like that Aquaman trailer.
Oh my god. But yeah, and then all of a sudden we get to Forky.
Yeah.
And it actually. I mean, I don't know the story. Obviously, I've not seen.
I think you know the story. I think you know something.
I think I have a
maybe
theory
know
on
somebody.
the story of Forky.
Amy, I wasn't forking finished talking.
Okay.
No, but it's just like the Forky thing is just like, I don't belong here. And it's like, no, you don't. You know, and I just like...
You're right.
Yeah, it's like, you're a piece of trash that should get thrown away.
Oh, that's like the complete opposite of where I was going to go with that.
Yeah.
I feel like the whole, like a lot of the premise of it is going to be about a child's imagination and what constitutes as a toy and like how a toy becomes a toy. That little girl that Andy gave all of his toys to, she probably made Forky from and like is using her imagination. Like at the beginning of Toy Story 2, when you see like Ham has that eye patch and he's like an evil bad guy, and you realize that that's all coming from Andy's imagination. Yeah, it's like all coming from Andy's imagination.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what this is going to expand upon more, and I feel like that's what Forky is. And someone brought up, I saw in a comment somewhere, is some kids don't have money to have nice toys, and they have to make toys.
Yeah.
Out of what they have at their house. And this one person maybe just had a spork and some googly eyes and some pipe cleaners.
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
I see that and I appreciate it because I was one of those kids who didn't have a whole lot of money. So, like, I would have the action figures, but I never had the money for, like, the vehicles or the sets or anything like that. So I ended up building a lot of my own toys. It's something that I still do. And I get that. I just kind of feel like I have yet to see a Pixar film that I genuinely didn't like. There were some that I like better than others, but Toy Story 3 was so good. That bit at the end in the incinerator, I still, what's the term you kids use? Ugly cry?
Yes.
Yes.
Stop using...
I do.
You're only 5 years older than us, Joe.
And what a 5 years it's been. In that time I have lived, Amy. But
And you haven't seen this movie.
Well, yeah, because I was busy living. But yeah, Toy Story 3 is so good.
Yeah,
it's such a masterful film.
What I mean, when they had first announced that they were even doing a Toy Story 4, I was like, why?
Yeah.
They ended the story on. I mean, like you said, Toy Story 3 is a fucking amazing movie.
It's
like
perfect.
It's great. Like I can't praise that movie anymore.
To your point about why they shouldn't be making this, I do have a point to. This is how I'm rationalizing that they're making it, not just to make a lot of money, but it's for a new generation. Like how
fuck new generations.
But how
get your own things.
Yeah.
But it's like
your own childhood
we grew
memories.
up with Toy Story. We were around, like, I know Johnny and I were probably closer to Andy's age when Toy Story came out.
Yeah, when did it come out? 93?
No, 95.
No, 95.
95.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we were around the same age as Andy through each Toy Story.
Well, yeah, and that's
movie.
actually an interesting point because when I went to go see Toy Story 3 when it came out in the theaters, everybody, like, I think I went to a midnight showing back when movies actually came out at midnight.
Yeah. Not 8 o'clock.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone there was people that are like people my age, people that I went to school with. Like it was funny because when I was going, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go see Toy Story 3. I don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care that's a kid's movie or whatever. And I went there and it was literally just all people my age.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Toy Story 3 had that perfect ending where you're just like
and
and
now
like, you're right in that
those
it is for
kids
new
and
generations.
those kids
What kids
are those kids who grew up with Andy. So us.
Yes.
We are at that
Not
age
me.
where we are having children of our own. And at the end of season
Amy and Johnny both have children.
at the end of Toy Story 3, Andy gives his toys to that little girl.
Yeah.
And
It's
what I'm thinking will happen in Toy Story 4. I keep wanting to say season 4. What will happen in Toy Story 4 is it's going to be for that generation who grew up with Andy. Their kids are going to be this little girl. It's going to be their journey with this little girl. No, we don't, but through any like spin-offs or like shorts that they've had, like Toy Story of Terror, it is based around that little girl
and her toys.
and her toys. So I feel like it's going to be her story with the toys for the kids who grew up with Andy and Toy Story originally,
and their parents,
and their kids, and their kids as parents,
right,
to continue that story and that legacy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be basically like a Toy Story 1 for these new little kids. That's how I see it, at least. That's how I see that Pixar is rationalizing making this new movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they just wanted to make money.
They do just want to make money, but I feel like that is another rationalization for it.
I mean, I can see. I mean, you're right. I can see that. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I think would have maybe been better is instead of Toy Story 4, they went Toy Story and then a subtitle, like whatever, something
like they have with the shorts a little bit.
Yeah, something like with the shorts where it's like it's the same characters but a different story. Like Toy Story 4 feels like it's a continuation. It's the next one after Toy Story 3. You know. So I think if they were like new toys or whatever, some fucking I don't know, some title that wasn't a numeric like a continuation of the series, I think at least in my mind would have been better. But I get why they wanted to do Toy Story 4.
I think you're right though. I think that would sort of.
But it's just kind of going along with their branding, though.
Yeah.
Like, they've done that with Cars, and they didn't do it with Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, it's like Monsters, Inc. is like...
But
it's
Monsters University...
Monsters something.
Yeah, and it's
like
a prequel.
Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, like, they sound like similar films.
So, I mean, you could do... I'm saying you could do Toy Story and then...
Incredibles 2. Like, they really... Their titles for their sequels kind of blow.
Yeah, they're not very creative on that front.
So which one is this? It's the second one.
Part 2.
But
any other thoughts on Toy Story 4 before we head into
wrap up this Talking Trailers segment?
Before we wrap it up.
No, that's my thoughts. I think it sucks, and I'm never going to see it. And I'm boycotting every Pixar movie from now on.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
Yeah, no, that's a bold face.
And I mean, I'll go see it. I mean, especially if it's...
I mean, yeah, definitely. I'm sure
it's going to be good.
Well, I mean, Pixar... like I said, there's been few Pixar movies that I've missed that I haven't seen. But, I mean, Toy Story is always going to be one of those things where it's like, if there's a new Toy Story movie, I'll go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I will hope that it makes me cry like that third one did. God damn.
Yeah, that one.
That's some good stuff. That is some good storytelling.
It's good feels.
Yeah.
Good feels all around.
All right. Well,
let's get into some more good feels.
Let's feel a new groove, shall we?
Yeah. Good segue, Joe.
Thank you, Amy.
It's good.
So, The Emperor's New Groove was released in the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
It was directed by Mark Dindal and stars David Spade, John Goodman, Eartha Kitt, and the always perfect Patrick Warburton.
Oh, Amy's getting red again.
He's good. She is. She's getting flustered.
He has the best voice, though.
He does.
He's fucking great.
Okay,
Yeah.
so quick synopsis before I get Joe's thoughts on this.
Okay.
Arrogant young Emperor Cusco is transformed into a llama by his power-hungry advisor, the devious diva Yzma. Stranded in the jungle, Cusco's only chance to get back home and reclaim the high life rests with a good-hearted peasant named Pacha. Together, they must return Cusco to the throne before Yzma tracks them down and finishes him off. So, Joe, you've never seen this.
No.
What did that summary make you think?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you to be honest. It kind of sounds like a thriller.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like a political intrigue. It's you know, I mean, it's like essentially it's Lion King, right? You know, you've got a bad guy, sort of. What is her deal? Did you say she's the advisor?
Yeah.
So essentially, you've got the regent trying to off the current monarch to take his throne, which is Lion King. I mean, it sounds kind of Shakespearean.
Yeah. I will say this is set in the Incan Empire. I want to say it's the Incan Empire.
It's pre-Columbian Incan Empire.
And actually, that's really cool because that is, I don't know that any other Disney films have been in South America.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Because I mean, they're usually sort of like
European.
Somewhere in Europe,
Yeah.
Western Europe.
And the question, so Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
Is just you didn't watch it because again it was like
it was just in that gap
Yeah.
of when I was like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah, he was like 15, 16 when this movie came out, probably.
15.
Okay,
yeah, it was
that
like
makes sense.
it was in December of 2000.
Yeah, and I remember people being like hearing nothing but good things. People really, really liked it, but I just didn't see it, and I don't honestly even remember advertisements for it.
Yeah, it's become more of a cult classic, like the way Hocus Pocus has become.
I'm aware of that because I've seen so many like memes and jokes, things that I recognize are from the film.
I got the Funkos at my desk.
You've got the Funkos at your desk, but I've seen like that really famous, I think it's famous, Splash Mountain picture of the two people at real Splash Mountain, and one of them's like, she's wearing purple and she's like got her arms crossed and she looks really upset, and the other guys, and then
when
it's
you
like
watch the movie, you will find out where that comes from, and it's so good.
And then there's like, you guys keep talking about putting a thing in a box and then another box and then hitting it with a hammer. And what else? There's a frame of a guy in a poncho who's like closing his eyes and he's like rubbing his fingers together. Like he looks like that cook guy, the Salt Bay. It looks like it's like a picture of a guy. It's the guy from that movie.
You sound like a crazy person.
Yeah, I've never seen that meme before.
What? No, this is I'm going to my internet machine.
No.
Emperor.
So Amy, did
Yes.
you see this movie in theaters? Like
I did not.
What are your what do you remember about this movie?
I just remember watching it on VHS all the time.
This is it. This is the frame.
I can hear the hills sing. The hills sing.
Oh,
But it's like a meme that I see a bunch of
Yeah.
people. I'm gonna post this to the gram.
To the gram, do it for the gram.
But I watch this movie at least, I wouldn't say at least a half a dozen times a year, but I watch this
Half
movie.
a dozen times a year.
I watch this movie a lot.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
maybe four, like 6 is pushing it, but 4 times I watch this movie whenever I see that it's on like Disney Channel, even like Disney Junior or Disney XD. They play this sometimes.
Yeah.
I will still watch this. I will suffer through those little kid commercials to watch this movie. But what about you, Johnny?
So I remember seeing this movie in theaters. I remember, there was like a period in like my life where like we would just get dropped off at the movies and we just see like 3 or 4 movies like at a time. Like,
Just theater
all
hop?
day,
Yeah.
theater hopping. I remember watching this movie and really liking it. I don't think I ever owned it, so I didn't watch it repeatedly, but it was one of those ones that I remember being like, oh yeah, that was really good. Like it was better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Even at like 10 years old, like it was just like, it was one of those ones where I was just like, yeah, that was good. That was good. And then like later on, watching it and like still enjoying it. Like this wasn't the one that like I repeatedly like watched.
Yeah.
Especially because by like then I was sort of getting out of the Disney stuff.
Yeah.
But I do remember it being one of the ones that I watched in theater. I remember going to theaters to watch it. I remember liking it a lot. I thought it was like really funny.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I remember about it. Just that it's a Disney movie that's like really funny, like surprisingly so. Like the jokes, like work so well.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's the only thing that I really know about it, aside from the scattered memes and stuff like that, is that it is a straight up hilarious movie by all reports. But anyway, okay, so Emperor's New Groove. I am excited to check out this film that is the funniest movie ever made by Disney.
I mean,
It's not the funniest movie ever made, but I just have very funny childhood
my expectations
memories.
are way up here.
Okay. All right, well, let's get to this movie.
All right.
And now, our feature presentation.
Welcome back. So, Joe, what did you think? I'm so excited to hear what you thought.
He's speechless.
I am.
Oh.
It's true.
You felt like this the way I felt about Spider-Man 2, didn't you?
No, I thought it was... It's funny because I enjoyed it. Thought it was funny. Liked it better than Hercules. I feel like it didn't make an impression on me though. The way that's my only. Actually, this is my only complaint. It's not a complaint. It's just that it didn't make an impression on me. If you ask me to remember like my favorite joke from it,
Yeah.
Really?
I'm not sure that I could tell
That's
you.
interesting.
I think the reason that we can pick out our favorite jokes from it is because we've been quoting it for 18 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is funny. It is very funny.
It's surprisingly so.
Yeah, it's
Like,
surprisingly funny. It's got some very sly humor.
Well, and then there were like cool things like when what's his face screws up the poison in the
Warburton,
glasses.
Kronk.
Yeah, Kronk, when he screws up the poison in the glasses, and he's like, and he has to like, oh, redo it. And then he's like, it's like they're about to drink it, and he's like, don't drink it, you know. And then she like pours it out into the plant. The plant turns into
there's so much great background work in this.
It turns into a llama, which is great.
And there's so many like random references, like not necessarily pop culture references, but you know,
well, like the Splash Mountain thing, like that's like it's like a Disney reference.
Yeah.
Well, no, and then when Kronk is like going to like dump Cusco's body and it pulls out to the chimp and they go and Cusco goes, so what's with the chimp and the bug? It's a reference to Citizen Kane.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very meta because I mean
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's funny because I thought also that it was interesting. I don't know how many Disney protagonists start out like their journey is usually like from like a closed down place, you know, that they want more. They want to explore. Little Mermaid, Moana, they want to go out there, and Simba wants to be this king, and Belle wants to, you know, not just be stuck in this little town, right? And so I thought it was interesting that Cusco's journey is to not be an asshole anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it so different and so great. It just like separates itself out from the rest of the movies, and kind of the reasons why I love it is like this asshole becomes kind of a little bit less of an asshole.
Yeah. Which again feels like Tony Stark a little bit.
Yeah, I can see definitely.
Because he's
And maybe that's
rich and entitled asshole.
why I love Tony Stark so much.
Everybody loves Tony Stark. Also, like we said, I thought it was really cool that it happens in South America, which is
it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a different setting. Like you said, I don't know if there's because most of the Disney movies, at least around this time, were set like in Europe and stuff like that.
And they've gotten more.
Well, if you're looking at the post-Renaissance, a lot of them, so it's like Home on the Range. That's set in the American West.
Yeah.
Brother Bear.
Also,
it's kind of in the American West, like northeast, like
Canada,
like
region.
Canada, like Oregon kind of region.
Yeah.
Chicken Little. I feel like that would be set in the American Midwest if it
It's
was
set
like,
in an alternate universe where
full of
chickens talk.
talking animals.
Yeah.
And then you said you watched or you really liked Atlantis, right?
Did. I saw them. I came to them much later.
Much
though.
later. And
Yeah.
how come you never came to this one? Like, what was you just like? It was like not available, or was it something you just
I
had no
think it
interest
was an
in?
availability thing, and
Okay.
it wasn't top of mind. I don't remember how I saw Atlantis: The Lost Empire. I want to say Netflix back when it was a DVD subscription service.
Yeah.
Had suggested it to me, and then I was like, yeah, sure, all right. I've heard something about this movie, and then I saw it, and I was like, damn.
One of the things that strikes me now is that, like, we always talk about, like, we talk about Disney Renaissance as being, like, in the 90s, and this movie isn't considered part of it, but I think it's one of the better movies that came out in that post-Renaissance era, if not the best one that came out.
Because Mulan had come out a couple years before, right?
Yeah, 98.
And then what else came out around this time?
So, the Atlantis came out in 2001.
Right, which was also a failure.
Yeah.
Which is man, that movie is so good.
Lilo and Stitch came out in 2002.
Yeah.
Which also, I think, didn't do especially well, if I'm remembering correctly. Right. And that's
well, a lot of the post-Renaissance movies did not do well box office or even home video-wise.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of them were failures.
Well, I mean,
that was the Michael Eisner era.
Yeah. I mean, The Emperor's New Groove, like, found life in home video. Like, that's where it got popular.
A lot of these movies, I don't think, like, the only two that are really popular out of this anymore are Emperor's New Groove and Lilo and Stitch. Like, they're the only ones.
Of that era,
yeah, of that era.
I mean, that's the only ones that have, like, lasting effect, at least for people that watch it.
And then it's, like, people who are really hardcore fans, like Atlantis and Treasure Planet.
So I will say, I don't know if you guys agree with me on this, but I feel like there's some, shall we say, what do you call it?
Can you describe it?
Yes, I can. I can describe it. The word I'm looking for is double entendre. That's what I'm looking for.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of kids' movies.
Yeah, it has it. But because I feel like there's some implication that Yzma is sleeping with Kronk and has been sleeping with, like, all of her aides, because there's a bit where it's like that line about, so what is he, like 20? And he's just like a dummy who's really handsome. Which I thought was funny. Even though I think Kronk's probably too stupid to realize that Yzma is like interested. But I thought that was funny. But I was trying to figure out how old Cusco is, because he's like
I think he's 18.
Is he 18?
Maybe, because he just talked about giving it, like, the reason where he wants.
Oh yeah. There is a description I read where it's his 18th birthday. That's, like, the whole big thing. She kills him before he can become 18,
right?
And that way she can take over.
Okay. But yeah, I feel like because I read about the troubled production. Apparently, David Spade was always Cusco. But in the original, it was like a more serious film.
Yeah.
And they chose the right guy to play, like, smarmy jerk.
Yeah.
You know, because that I did really. You know what? Remember how I said I couldn't remember a bit?
You lied.
I lied. I will take that back, because I'm remembering a bit where he's like, let me guess, you have a good personality. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I've used
and that's why he's picking out the brides too. It's because he's turning 18. Yeah.
So that was really funny. I did enjoy how when the animation shifted for that section. You know, when it turns into, like, a really, like, impressionistic, super graphic looking thing, you know, versus, like, the normal Disney stuff.
And it kind of shifts graphics too when they're doing the chase scene. It goes to, like, that map. And it's like puppetry kind of.
I mean, again, it's like the map part, especially, like, the meta humor, where it's like, how did you guys get here before us? Like, I don't know. The map channel is pretty good. There's some good bits in it. My favorite part is just the old man, where he's like, where he gets thrown out, he's like, I threw off his groove!
Yeah.
Don't beware the groove!
Beware the groove!
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
And another thing I didn't notice was, well, it's like I noticed it, but I never really made the connection that the restaurant is Big Boy.
Oh, yeah. I noticed it immediately.
Yeah, I was like I didn't really, like, make that connection until I moved out here, and I was like, oh my god, it is Big Boy!
Oh, were you not familiar with, like, that iconography of
I've
Big
seen,
Boy?
like, I know what Big Boy looks like, and I just, like, it just never really clicked until I was, like, driving through Burbank, and I was like, oh, look, there's Big Boy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I got it.
Yeah. I do love when that happens, when all of a sudden you realize the callback to something, you know, and you realize it, like, organically.
Yeah.
And then, like, later Kronk's walking out of the restaurant and he has, like, those, like, origami takeout containers,
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's a
the swan.
llama.
Yeah, the llama.
I was
That
like, oh god, it's so good.
I do remember, like when I was little, I remember we used to go to a place that would wrap up your leftovers into the shape of like a swan.
Yeah.
That's like the standard thing you see in like most like movies or TV shows.
Yeah, I don't think they do it anymore. It's very like dated. I don't think they just give you a box.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry, that was rude.
Get out of here.
Please get out of here.
Take your shit with you.
But speaking of Kronk,
I loved how he was so good as a short order cook. Like,
Yeah.
He's like,
that's what the whole-
he gets the order, and then he's like, Adam and Eve on a raft, wreck him. Like, he's got like the diner speak immediately.
That's what Kronk's New Groove is pretty much all about. I think it's like him being the Squirrel Scout leader and being a cook.
Yeah, I forgot about the squirrel thing.
Speaking squirrel.
Because the
Squeaking.
squeaking.
Patrick Warburton is just so.
He's so good.
He's got the perfect voice for like,
He improvised his theme song.
Oh,
yeah.
And then he had to like sign a thing
Yeah.
with Disney, like, you have the rights to use
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Well, it's so funny. His voice is so characteristic. There's a number of places, like he's the host or whatever, the pre-flight video host.
Which we had to remind you of that at Soarin', remember?
No.
When we were at Soarin', we were like, I remember saying like,
I remember you wearing my hat.
Patrick Warburton is the host. He's going to intro us to this.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I feel like you forgot that. And then we started
I don't
talking.
think Joe would forget a fact about.
And I wouldn't forget anything. I've never forgotten anything in my
or
life.
maybe it was like you were surprised by something with Patrick Warburton and Soarin'.
I think you're getting all mixed up.
Or
Sounds
maybe
like
maybe
a
it was just like
whole
we
steaming
told you it was
pile
like
bowl.
Patrick Warburton is in Emperor's New Groove or something. I don't.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
Because I remember you being surprised with something that had to do
something
with
relating
Patrick
to
Warburton and Soarin' when we were in line for Soarin'.
Okay, I would believe that it was my ignorance of his role in the film.
Maybe.
But he's also the voice of the little scanner droid in Star Tours.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not sorry, not scanner droid. The larger droid that's actually scanning like the people coming in. But because they've run his voice through a filter, and it doesn't like the intonations are all there.
Us that when we were in line, and we were just like listening to him. Like I can kind of hear it. Yeah.
So his voice is so characteristic. No matter what is done to it, you can still hear that it's it. That is
just
a
for
voice.
Kronk, it's just so good. It's so perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's just.
Yeah.
And he's like, I mean, the whole movie's funny, and all the characters have like funny moments. But he especially, is just like
he's the comedy
best.
of that film.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. He's the reason I think I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie is solid. It's funny, but it is also. It's not quite the like how we talked about before.
It's
Disney
not the
movies.
drama.
Yeah, it's not the drama. It's not high drama. It's comedy, but there's still a warmness to it, which I do. The last episode we talked about Hercules, and I do think there's a heart to this movie that isn't really in Hercules. Hercules is fun.
I agree.
Hercules is very fun, but there's not a warmness to it in the way that there is with this one.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, and I think that comes from Cusco having to stop being an asshole. I mean, and you see it like
has like
slowly.
a major character arc versus like Hercules doesn't have much of an arc or anything. He just has like the hero's journey, a basic standard thing.
But it's like the hero's journey, but like abbreviated.
Yeah.
You know, where like I believe because what's nice about this movie is Cusco he is an asshole, straight up, and he changes, but only in a sense. He doesn't become a completely different person.
Yeah.
He just becomes less of the inconsiderate asshole that he was.
Yeah.
Which I think is good. I mean, because nobody ever really changes. They just become better.
They learn to like do things differently. I mean, it's a good movie, but you said it didn't leave an impression on you, which is interesting because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And it seems
like
it did.
I don't. I think the thing is
Would
that,
you watch it again?
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd like.
Would you own it?
That's always my thing. Would I purchase this film? I don't think I'd buy it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But if it was on TV or something like just I would see it again. Something that didn't quite unify it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's but I did enjoy it. I mean, and I think I'd probably watch it again. It's just it just doesn't stick in my mind.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, he's coming into it really late.
But I mean, he's come into a lot of other Disney stuff late.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
And
I think Mulan. I came into Mulan. Nope. I saw Mulan late in
I'll
life.
edit that out.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I
Jesus
probably won't
Oh,
edit that out.
man.
it would have been fine if you didn't stop.
Yeah.
You just kept going.
I had to make it weird. It's my gift. But I saw Mulan quite after the fact, and that's a great film. It was such a good movie. Like that bit when she just cuts off her hair and Jerry Goldsmith's score just like flies in.
I think
it's
because
so good.
just because all of those movies have a very emotional undertone, and this one is just
It's fun.
It's just
It's
a
light and
funny
fun.
comedy movie.
Yeah, but I did like it, and I thought everybody was great in it.
Yeah, no, the performances are really great.
Yeah.
The writing is really solid.
It is, especially considering they had to like redo the entire film.
Yeah, they had the troubled production that it did. The
Yeah.
fact that, but it is one of those ones that I think it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's not underrated, but not as appreciated.
Underappreciated.
Underappreciated.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for, yeah.
I could see that. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Although I think probably now, given its new life as
like a
a
cult
cult
thing.
movie, I feel like it does have the appreciation
Yeah.
now that it.
But I mean,
it-
like appreciation by like we said, Disney doesn't. Like you don't see a lot of this merchandise
right.
around. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
a smaller movie, but like
But I think this movie just has that limited range for that. The Funkos you have are like that's perfect for this movie. They should make a Kitty Yzma stuffed animal for
Yeah.
sure.
definitely
Yeah.
get on it, Disney.
Or Etsy. Somebody on Etsy.
18 years
Yeah, there's
later.
probably one on Etsy.
Or Box Lunch.
Yeah.
There's got to be something.
But I do have
Some
a
fun
couple.
facts?
Well, I don't have very many fun facts for this.
She has
but
unfun facts.
I do have some. I do have some recastings.
Oh, okay.
A couple hidden Mickeys.
Oh.
And a fan theory that I have seen in my perusings of Tumblr over the years. So
Tumblr's that dating
Take
app,
your
right?
pick. No, that's Tinder.
Oh, right.
So take your pick of which you would like to discuss first.
Just go for it, Amy.
Okay.
Jump in.
So the hidden Mickeys. One is in the bushes when Cusco gets pulled from the water.
I missed
Okay.
it. It was
Yeah.
hidden from me.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either, and I've seen this movie so many times. Another is Yzma's head and earrings upside down. I don't know what that one is either. And one is seen in the plates of food Cusco is served at the beginning.
Classic, like Haunted Mansion style, because there's the plates
Yeah.
on the one of them arranged in such a way on the grand ballroom is a hidden Mickey.
And then I'm going to do the fan theory, which is the bug that gets eaten by the spider after Cusco goes in the jungle. After he leaves Pacha's house. You hear him going, "Help me, help me!"
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fans theorize that is like one of Yzma's old Kronks that she turned into a bug, because that's the only reason that you can hear it talking is because
none
you
of the
can't hear
animals
any other
talk.
animals talk except for like the animals that are turned into like humans that are turned into animals.
Oh.
So it's like that bug. It was a human and got eaten.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. Theory.
And
That is.
it's like, and you can, there's a vial you see, like, when they're searching through the cabinet at
Yeah,
the
that
end,
has, like, the
there's a
bug.
spider on the, like, label, like, underneath on the shelf. So it's like, I mean, it's feasible that she actually turned someone into a bug.
Wow. After using him up.
Yeah. Which is kind of, you know,
Is
I
that
think
everything?
that's everything.
All right.
So, closing thoughts. Joe, you thought it was good, but...
That was fine. Yeah.
but-
That was
But
fine.
he'll never watch it again.
100% palatable.
Johnny,
It's better than that. It's good. It's
good.
It is a.
It's fun. I mean, it's a very fun movie.
Let's see here. It's just fucking good.
It's...
All right.
Yeah.
It's good, and Joe's wrong, and we're done being friends.
This is...
We were friends?
Not anymore.
This is just... I love this movie so much. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It was good. I mean, I enjoyed it. I
No, you
didn't.
hated it.
Wasn't
It's over.
sitting there
It's
being
done.
like,
Watch it's over. The podcast is done. This is the last episode.
But you know what? You guys tell us what you think. You can tell us on Twitter or Instagram at Nostalgitis, NOSTALGITIS. Or you can email us at nostalgiaeffectpod@gmail.com. It's all going to be in the description. Let us know any movies that you want us to watch and talk about. It can be from any time before,
Can't be from it. Nope.
probably before like mid-2000s.
Nope. No times.
somebody's going to suggest a train arrives at the station. We're going to be like, damn it.
Only you remember that one.
Give us some childhood memory movies.
Or don't.
But-
I don't know. Go back.
Unless
to
you're
your
a child now,
life.
In which case? That's not going to work. And why are you listening
yeah,
to this?
why are you listening to this?
We say bad words. Johnny
it's
says bad words all the
explicit.
time.
I have a
But-
problem.
Okay, on that note, thank you guys for listening, and don't forget to be kind and rewind.
Woo!